Hi, welcome to Introduction to Literature, English 102 online. I wanted to kind of meet you right away so that you could see who I am and we could get a little bit of an understanding of how this all works. I really spell everything out for you pretty well right in the first week's lesson or before the first week's lesson. But even so, I thought if I can talk to you a little bit about all this, this will make it even easier for you. So here we go. I'm George Chernowski. I've been on Trocare's faculty longer than I'm sure any of you have been alive. And I just love what I do, and that's why I do it. Okay? So put in your head that I am available for you whenever. I do this because I love it, and I do it because I love to work with students. Okay? So just kind of plant that seed in your brain right away. Okay? Introduction to Literature is obviously a study of different kinds of literature. We'll spend a significant amount of the semester on the short story, and everybody likes stories, so that's good. Keep in mind, no matter what we're doing, my primary goal for you is to have you increase your enjoyment of literature. So we're not going to be putting your nose to the grindstone to ask what little thing happened here or there in any story. That's not how we work here, okay? And I don't want you to read anything that we're reading as if it were a science textbook or something. We are reading literature. We are reading primarily short stories. We'll read some poetry. We'll get into drama a little bit later on. But you know, that's really what we're doing and what we're all about. So we're reading literature so that you can come to enjoy literature better, okay? And we want to, in a sense, deepen your understanding of how literature works, okay? I'm sitting outside here under the gazebo on the deck on the back of my house because I love to be outside and it's a gorgeous Saturday afternoon, and so I thought this would kind of be a fun thing to do. Now, the way that the course will work, and I pretty much explained this right in the text that you'll see on Moodle, but even so, I wanted to say it to you verbally as well. Each week, I will give you a lesson to read on Moodle. I will assign you some stories to read, or later on in the semester, some poetry, or toward the end of the semester, some drama. And then what I will want from you is I will want you to take the ideas that we talked about in the lesson for the week and see where those ideas appear in the story. So the important thing is, don't just retell the story for us. That's not what we want. We're all going to read the stories. So don't spend your time retelling the stories. You obviously will use some examples from what happens in the story to, there's a wasp buzzing around here. That's what you see flipping in front of the screen. You'll have to use examples from the story to explain the concepts that you're trying to talk about. But focus on the concept and show where that concept is developed in whatever stories or pieces of literature we're reading for that week, okay? That's really what we're all about. Now, after you write your essay, and as you'll see in the instructions, it'll tell you we want roughly a 5-paragraph essay or longer each week. So we want you to do some thoughtful writing, okay? And you know how to write essays. You've all taken composition. So you know what an essay means, and the typical essay is 5 paragraphs long, introductory paragraph, 3 paragraphs of explanation or example, and a wrap-up paragraph. So, you know, it might be longer than 5 paragraphs, but generally we want you to be 5 paragraphs. And that doesn't mean a sentence each paragraph. Assume that the reader doesn't know what you're talking about, so explain yourself thoroughly. Okay, and you know, you'll be able to read other students' essays because on Moodle you can see everything that's there. Besides that, you have to read other students' essays because your essay will be due usually on Friday evening, and then by Saturday afternoon by noon or 1 o'clock Saturday, I'll want you to have commented on Moodle on 2 essays that other students wrote. Okay? So you're not only going to be reading and then writing an essay about it, but you're going to be reading other students' essays and commenting on their essays. Now, when you comment on their essays, we only want you to write maybe 3 sentences or 4 sentences about them. You don't need to go into great detail. No, you don't need to spend a lot of time commenting on them, but make your comments worthwhile. Saying, oh, I agree with what you said is a waste of your time. It's a waste of everybody's time, okay? Pick out things from their essay that you think were particularly good and go into detail and tell why, or not very good and go into detail and tell why. Don't be afraid to have a different opinion than what the person said in the essay, and if your opinion is different, then say it, because literature really only has meaning in that it has meaning to you individually as a reader. So what Sally Ann thinks about a particular work might not be the same as what you think about it. That doesn't mean you're wrong or that she's wrong. We all base our concepts of what literature is about on our own experiences. Okay, we've all lived different lives. No matter who we are and where we are, our lives are all different. So your comments and your essays should reflect who you are. So don't be afraid to disagree with somebody. And, if somebody disagrees with you, don't take that as criticism. Take that as a constructive, different kind of idea to try to expand your view of it. If you want to come back and comment on somebody else's comment on your stuff, that's okay. Or if you want to comment on other people's comments on stuff, that's okay. But we want a minimum of an essay from each of you and then 2 comments. And generally, as I say, the essay will be due on Friday and then the 2 comments will be due on Saturday because, of course, you need essays up there to be able to comment on. Okay? So usually we'll want the essays there by 6 o'clock on Friday and we'll want the comments there by 1 o'clock on Saturday. Okay? And then that gives me time to get everything done by Sunday so that Sunday night I can post the next week's assignments and readings and lessons and videos, all of that kind of thing. Okay? So, for our very first week, our timetable is going to be different, and I'll explain that right in the work. We may use a little bit of different timetable because this is the first week, and a lot of you may not be logging on for the first time till Monday or Tuesday, so I want to give you a little extra time, and that's okay. But each week I will tell you. Now, also, generally each week I will have some kind of a question in the video that I have for you, and you need to email me the answer to that question. If you don't email me the answer to the question in the video, then I'm not going to correct your essay. Okay? Also, most weeks there will be a question right within the lesson itself on Moodle. Okay? And so you need to send me an email that tells me the answer to the question on the video and the question that's in the lesson. Okay? Now, all this being said, this is not a terribly time-consuming course. Okay? This is a course that I want you to enjoy. I enjoy it a lot. I want you to enjoy it. Okay? If you do the readings generally are not very long. They really aren't. And then think about what the concept is. Read the lesson first. Do the readings. Think about what we talked about in the lesson as you do the readings. Maybe even make notes as you do the readings. And then write your essay. Okay? And then, after some essays are posted, go in and comment on them. Okay? If you have any questions, I put down on Moodle how you can always get in touch with me. And keep in mind, I'm here for you. Okay? If something happens that you really can't get around to doing it some week, or over the weekend, and so you're going to be late, email me or text me. And again, I give you the instructions for that. Email me or text me and let me know that. I want to work with you I want you all to be successful. I want you all to get really good grades in this course. I love it. I want you to love it. Okay? So we're all here to enjoy. We're all here to have fun. And probably at the end of the semester, we'll all get together and talk about all of this. Have a good week.